Welcome to the We Grow Together podcast, where we believe that our collective growth is the key to unlocking our individual potential. I'm your host, Laura DiFrancesco, entrepreneur, corporate attorney, investor, and founder of Dean Street Law, Flourish Co-working Space, Ethereal Farms, Laura DiFrancesco, LLC, and a few more. In each episode, I'll be sharing solo insights and engaging in thought-provoking conversations with community leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators. Together, we'll delve into inspiring stories, best practices, and tactical tips, all rooted in our philosophy that we grow together. Our mission is to support, educate, and celebrate billions of women and entrepreneurs in the pursuit of their dreams, embracing their most authentic self, and living a well-lived life. Join me as we explore entrepreneurship, lifestyle design, wellness, and a lifetime of learning. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or someone looking to design a life you love, this podcast is for you. Tune in to the We Grow Together podcast, because by sharing our stories and learning from one another, we can achieve more than we ever thought possible. Welcome back to the We Grow Together podcast. I'm so excited to chat all about our topic today, which is preparing for a photo shoot. I just got back from Houston, Texas, had a wonderful photo shoot with Grant Photos, styled by Jay, Kiss and Makeup Houston, and it was just so much fun. Absolutely loved it. So I wanted to share some of my tips for photo shoots, how I prepare for photo shoots, how I make them the most successful, and just some practical tips to make the most of it. So I personally think that investing in photos is a really important thing for yourself, for your business, for your family. Photos, professional photos are, to me, a really important part of our life because so many different parts of our lives go so quickly, whether it be the phase of life that we're in or what we're doing. And having professional photos that you can look back at a certain time in your life, I think are a really wonderful investment. It used to be something that was very prominent that folks invested in. I know that my parents have little family photos of ours, and I think it's something that is taking a resurgence. So I encourage you, whether you want photos for a pageant, your business, your personal brand, your life experiences, and most important moments, invest in professional photos. It's well worth it. You will use them. You will love them. It's definitely worth the investment. And also invest in photos when you don't have a reason to invest in photos. Invest in photos so that you have an opportunity to give yourself, to dress up, to be your best self, to portray the person that you want to be and that you are. Don't just wait for an engagement or a wedding or some special life event to get photos if you don't have brand or business needs. Do it just because. I think that's a really wonderful way to invest in yourself and live life. With that said, I always take notes. This is something that I do for every single thing in my life. After I do something, I write down my recaps of all the things that I wish I had done differently, things that I enjoyed that I did. And it's my iterative process to be the best version of myself in life, to have best experiences in life, to do everything in my life in a way that evolves and gets better over time. It feels really good to me. It's one of the biggest contributors to my success is that after I do everything, I reconvene in my mind, write a huge list, what I liked, what I want to do differently. And it helps me to constantly have better experiences in life. I love it because when I do something, I don't want to be annoyed by the same thing twice. I always think I don't want to say the same thing twice. I don't want to be annoyed by the same thing twice. If something doesn't work out the way I want it to begin with, if I feel friction in something in my life, I want it fixed and I want it to be better next time. And I'm okay if it doesn't turn out perfectly anytime. That's not the goal. The goal is not to be perfect, but it is to be better every time. So let's talk about photo shoots and how I prepare myself for photo shoots. And I think it's most important when you're planning a photo shoot. What's the goal of the photo shoot? What's your vision? What's your ideas? We have the prior episode about being golden brained, and this is all of your creative side. What is the vision? What you want to see? So as I'm thinking about a photo shoot I want to do, and actually just in life, I save albums on Instagram, on Pinterest, on my phone, all of my inspirations for various things that I want in my life. And part of that is photography. I have a lot of photography inspo that are poses, styles, hair and makeup, all of those. So I'm constantly saving inspiration. So if you're planning a photo shoot, one of the first things I do is start to save inspiration. Now, you could have a purpose for the photo shoot, or you could want to have that purpose be influenced by your inspiration. I personally support both. Sometimes I have a very defined purpose for a photo shoot. I need branding for Dean Street Law. Let's do a branded photo shoot. We want to use the colors. We want to use the textures. We want the brand to have an experience and a feeling. So I want that specific photo shoot to be a specific way, and having a vision in mind of what I want to accomplish and what I plan to use the photography or videography for, then I will pull inspiration in addition to supplement what I already have, specifically fulfilling that vision. And I'll pull inspiration for styling, for fashion, what we're going to be wearing, for props, for poses, as well as hair and makeup. So those are the different categories of inspiration. And then I will have inspiration that I'm constantly getting together and decide that I want to use the inspiration I have for a specific photo shoot, and I want to recreate an idea but put my own spin on it. I think it's important as you're thinking of inspiration. First off, I love inspiration. I don't think that you should shy away from gathering inspiration, whether it be your internal thoughts and reflections and writing that down or sketching it out, or somehow creating it into a form that you can communicate it with others. Or if you find external inspiration and you take from others. I don't think it's personally copying for you to recreate a look, provided that you do it in your way and you're not just saying, okay, well, let me take that exact look and that exact outfit and that exact hair and makeup and that exact location and everything and put it on me. So I don't find that to be original. But what I do find to be original is taking an inspiration. And let's say you have a particular white flowy dress and a horse. Do a white flowy dress and a horse and do it your way. When you pose, you're going to pose maybe from inspiration or separately and everything. But essentially, you're creating this masterpiece that is an amalgamation of your inspiration and your physical setting and what you have around you. And it is using inspiration. So I think that's a really wonderful way to use creativity and to use your inspiration, but be able to execute it in a way that's original. So that is how I consider inspiration. So first, of course, know the purpose and also have your inspiration. And so part of that inspiration is research, because you don't just want to have a single idea. At least me, I am type A, I prepare. And so I don't just want to have an idea. I want to have an entire photo shoot visual that I understand, that it has been put into paper and that I can communicate with others. So in part of my planning for a photo shoot, I gather all of that information and I create what I call a shot list. And a shot list includes not only all of the different shots that I want to get, so the different vibes, what we're going to be wearing for each, the hair and makeup for each, and all of the props needed for each. And then it also has a whole list of everything that we'll need for the photo shoot, a checklist. And it also has, I like to create a timeline. And so for the most part, most of the photo and video shoots that I plan, we execute in-house. So for all of our brands and businesses, we do our own photography and videography, and we might hire a photographer or videographer, but we're planning it. We're doing all of the ideas, we're producing it. And so it's more rare, I would say, that I'm working with someone where they're producing the photo shoot, they're doing the styling, and someone else is doing the hair and makeup and everything like that. Either way, even when you engage other people, it's really important that you have a document that you can provide that exactly shows this is the exact eye that I want. This is the exact skin that I want. I want it to be soft, or I want it to be glam, or I want it to be natural or makeup free makeup. So, and specific hairstyles too, exactly what you want for your hairstyles, so that when you want to have a hair and makeup artist or photographer, you can clearly communicate to them exactly what you want. That is going to skyrocket your likelihood of success, because anyone can do hair and makeup on anyone, and there's a billion different looks that you can do, but that doesn't mean that that look is going to be what looks good on you and what makes you happy. So when you have physical representations of those in inspirational photos and everything like that, you can show this to a hair and makeup artist and say, hey, I want this eye. And they may give you feedback and say, absolutely, let's do a little bit of a lighter under eye, because with all of, in specific for me, with all of my dark features, if I do a heavy under eye, it really tends to close off my face, close off my eyes, and just look very unnatural. So for me, while I can have more of a dark upper eye, it's really helpful to have a so that it doesn't overpower me. And so as you're considering all of your inspiration, documenting it and everything, also include, what do you want out of it? Do you want 3 looks? Do you want 5 looks? Do you want 2 different hair and makeup looks? And also, what do you want in that and what don't you want? Like for me, for hair and makeup, I don't want it to be teased. I don't mind if my hair is a little bit teased, but it has so much volume on its own, it doesn't need to be teased. I don't want a really strong contour on my nose. I don't want anything really heavy under my eyes. So know what you like and don't like, and also be okay with the fact that if you have yourself doing it, if you have other people doing it, it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. The important part is that as you do photo shoots, you will improve over time. You will know what to communicate next time that you get hair and makeup done to better prepare them. For instance, saying, I don't want my nose contoured. I had to learn to tell people, I don't want my lip color to be different than my lip liner color. I don't want it to be an ombre. I want it to be the exact same color. Things that I may not have known or thought of previously. Also, don't want to overline my lips. That's not my style. So when you're working with others, when you're planning it yourself, you're going to learn. You're going to have trial and error where you figure out over time what works for you. And it's okay that not everything is perfect. But of course, it is going to be a big day, especially if you're investing in this and you want it to be nice and everything. Ready to turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality? Join our 60 Days to Launch a Business course and gain the essential tools, strategies, and confidence to start your own business. Guided by expert insights and practical steps, you'll go from idea to launch in just 60 days or less. It's up to you. The course includes lessons, homework, and the 60 Days to Launch a Business guide of over 100 pages of exactly what I've done to start more than 5 businesses, taking you from ideation to post-launch celebrations. Take the leap of faith in yourself and build the business you've always envisioned. Enroll now and start your journey today. So we have talked about your vision, getting clear on organizing your inspiration, specifics and details around hair, makeup, style, the vibe. I even think of colors, especially when you're branding for a specific company. So let's talk more about logistics and how you should prepare for a photo shoot. So I'm just going to write down a few of the things that I think of when I'm preparing for a photo shoot. This is not all exhaustive. I haven't thought of everything. This was a couple of minutes of me thinking what I want to do when to make it easier to have a photo shoot, because it is a lot of work, both for you, for everyone else involved, and making it as easy as possible, having a little checklist. It will be so helpful. So 1 month prior is when I do my vision setting. That's when I do all of my inspiration, at least 1 month prior, I should say, generally. And if it's more condensed, you can obviously condense these timelines. This is general, but you can condense these timelines if you're like, oh, I'm doing a photo shoot next week. Okay, well, day 1, this is what we're doing. So styling. So with respect to styling, you're thinking about how you want to style your outfits, how you want to style your hair and makeup to match your outfits. Now, I first look at inspiration for style, and then I pick out specific clothes that I have. I go shopping for what I need, or use Rent the Runway or Nuuly or other sort of clothes rental services. And with respect to styling outfits, hair, and makeup, you really want them to support your vision and ideas. So for Dean Street Law, my hair and makeup and styling will be entirely different than pageant photography, for instance. It's going to be more demure, but essentially it's going to be much more professional and elegant, while still maintaining the differentiation that I have in the Dean Street Law brand, which is that it's not boring. It's not going to be business suits. It's going to be beautiful and intentional. And our vibe for Dean Street Law, we're switching our branding right now. Actually, it's going to be a little bit more dark academia, think Harvard, library, that kind of vibe. So when you're styling, think of what the purpose is and what they're going to be used for. And then that shot list. So I talked about what I like to create in the shot list. It's going to have your list of props, all of your list of outfits, use of all of the outfits and everything. Posing inspiration. I think it's really helpful to find posing inspiration for each look that you have, because if you're not a professional model, it can be hard to think of different poses on the spot. If you have a phenomenal photographer or art director, they're going to help you with posing. If not, this is going to be really worthwhile and helpful homework to do to prepare you for the photo shoot. And then in terms of planning, I prepare my packing list, plan the order of the photo shoot. So your photo shoot order might be determined based on natural lighting versus artificial lighting. So if you're shooting it all outside, when's golden hour? When are things that you can shoot in the shade during the highest peak of the day? Because 12 o'clock, basically anything other than golden hour is generally not flattering outside unless you have it specifically a certain way. So unless you're shooting in the shade or you're shooting with a reflector and everything like that. So shooting outside can be tricky if you don't do it well. And if you're doing it in-house, you want to make sure you know when to shoot certain parts. And also you want your hair and makeup to escalate over the day as well. So if you're going from a really glamorous photo shoot or something, you're going from soft to full glam, because it's a lot harder to take off glam than it is to add makeup. And if your hair is naturally wavy, you would want to start with wavy and then generally go to straight. Unless you don't want as wavy hair, then you could go from straight to curly. So those are the kind of logistical things you want to think about when you're planning the order of the photo shoot. So once you've planned the order of the photo shoot, then that generally will dictate the planning the whole photo shoot day. And so I like to think of, when should I arrive? When are we going to do hair and makeup? When are we going to do look one? I generally like to allocate a half hour to 45 minutes per look personally, but I'm also doing photos, videos, and generally want to make sure that I have enough time to really allocate to each. And then if you need to plan all and book all of your travel arrangements, are you driving? Are you flying? Do you need a train, hotel, transportation? Where are you going to get food? Because the last thing you want to do is to be finding fast food right before a photo shoot just to get something in your stomach because you're starving. You really want to make sure that you have nutritional options planned for the airport, nutritional options planned before ahead of time. And then once you have your photo shoot, go ham, go wild, and don't worry about bloating. But those are some helpful things I find, because we don't want to get hangry on photo shoot day. And I can tell you, photo shoots take a tremendous amount of energy to look like you are not just sitting there staring at a camera. That's not going to convey what you want to convey in your photo shoot. So you want to make sure that you have the energy that you need. I personally always find that a Starbucks the morning of a photo shoot is chef's kiss the move, but that's just me. I love a good soy chai latte, and I love a good matcha latte, cold, no ice, coconut milk, chef's kiss. Discover the magic of ethereal farms nestled in the heart of the rolling hills and draping forests of Chester County, Pennsylvania's wine country. Our luxury accommodations and tranquil landscapes provide the perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Enjoy serene walks among meadows, cozy nights by the fire making s'mores, and unforgettable moments with our friendly farm animals. Plus, it's just next door to our sister farm, Wayvine Winery and Vineyard, where you can enjoy live music, food trucks, and estate-made wines, farm-to-table cocktails, and a curated selection of craft beers. You'll also have access to more than 1,000 acres of hiking. At Ethereal Farms, we believe in the power of nature to inspire and rejuvenate. Plan your getaway today and experience the serenity and charm that only Ethereal Farms can offer. And then, in addition to that, you want to book your mani-pedi. I just got my mani-pedi. You can see I normally have nails from the farm. Something I learned from this photo shoot is I love short nails. I don't like fake nails and everything, but short nails don't look that great on most people. I think it does look more elegant with longer nails. So I would either plan to grow my nails out before a photo shoot, or I would ideally plan to get my nails done before a photo shoot. Prefer to grow them out, but if not, get them done before a photo shoot and have a little bit longer nails. I think just having a little bit of length really helps to elongate your fingers, make it look more beautiful, elegant, and it just, especially if you're doing a glamorous photo shoot, really matches and sets the tone for the photo shoot. And then the spray tan. My mom said to me, "You look so tan today." I did not tell her it was because I had a spray tan. It's like, yeah, I've been outside. It has faded tremendously, but I love a good spray tan. And I also use Saint Tropez. I do think that if you are doing a photo shoot and you're investing in it, it's really helpful to get a professional tan. I see plenty of streaks and everything on fake tan. I think just pay a little bit extra, get it professionally done. It'll look phenomenal. Of course, listen to all of their care instructions. That's very important. And then also book your hair appointment. Now, how you do your hair appointments and when you need to do them is going to depend entirely on your hair specifically. I think I had my hair cut a month and a half maybe prior to the pageant, and then it was too long right here and it just wasn't swooping. My hair needs to swoop. I have a lot of layers so that it's not all volume because it got a lot of Italian hair here. And if it wasn't layered, it would be literally out to here. So I am very specific of when I want a haircut specifically. And so if you have extensions, colors, anything like that, take all that into account. Haircuts for me, definitely no more than 4 weeks prior. I think it was like 6 or 12 weeks prior that I had my haircut. And then add everything to the calendar. And I will say, pro tip here, block a day off before the photo shoot, block the day of the photo shoot off, and block the day after the photo shoot. First, you're going to have last minute things you need to get organized, get your mani-pedi, whatever you need to do, block that for the day before. And just, if you haven't thought about it, you need to get your nails done before you get your spray tan done, because your nails, obviously, they will take off all of your spray tan and you can't get wet for a certain period of time after your spray tan. So plan that accordingly. If you have hair, same thing. And then add all that buffer time. And then the day of, don't try to do anything else. This is the lesson I learned in life. We don't need to do a billion things each day. James is teaching me. I am trying to listen. I'm trying to learn that we don't have to do a billion things every day. We can just do one thing. It's very anti all of my genetics, but we are learning. We're working on it better every day, right? And then always plan to take off the day after a photo shoot. Even if you're only in front of the camera for an hour or two, you are going to be exhausted with hair, makeup, prep, getting everything in the car, stylists. Even if you have someone doing hair and makeup, even if you have someone styling it, you're going to be absolutely exhausted. Always take the day off after. And then 2 weeks prior, order all your supplies. So you should have at least prepared all of your styles, your props, understand everything you need. If you don't have a stylist, even if you do, you need to communicate with them, see what you need to order to supplement. Do you need underwear solutions, bras, panties, all the things? Do you need shoes to go with the things that they're styling? So what do you need to bring? What do you need to order? If you're doing your own hair and makeup, well, first of all, I always recommend having a backup kit. Have a backup kit of hair and makeup. and have a backup kit of clothes. Even if you have other people doing it, I have never not used them. It is critical to always have them. And if you need anything, refill anything that you need to of hair and makeup supplies, determine what you need to order and replenish, order all of your hair and makeup supplies, order all of your outfits, all of your props, anything that you need, make sure it's all going to arrive in time. And then if you need, have everything around the house, start gathering it. If it's non-time sensitive, like things that you don't use on a daily basis, start gathering it. I like to have a rack that I put out to start preparing everything for a photo shoot. And then 1 week prior, pack for the photo shoot with your styling rack that you've made. Have your hair appointment if necessary, or 2 weeks prior, whatever is good for your hair. Whiten your teeth. Now, I don't need to whiten my teeth for a while before a photo shoot because my teeth are naturally pretty white. I don't really drink coffee or tea on a daily basis. I don't really have wine or anything that's going to stain my teeth, so my teeth stay very white. I do a couple of whitening strips before a photo shoot or before a pageant, maybe a couple every 6 months, something like that. So I will, the week of, for a couple of days before the pageant or photo shoot or whatever it is, whiten my teeth. And then the day before is usually when I do my mani-pedi, always first. Spray tan, I do that the day before because I want to keep the tan as strong as possible for the photo shoot or event. Mani-pedi, I always do the day before as well because I live on a farm. I'm a farm girl. We can only try to be so put together and elegant. The rest of it's just farm girl doing farm girl things, and mani-pedis don't interact well with farm girls doing farm girl things. I finish packing, I load my truck, I set up my out of office so people don't need to worry about where I am. And then the day of, I like to make sure that I'm awake. I'm planning at least 2 hours to get ready for the photo shoot, even if you're not doing anything, even if you're packed, even if you are getting hair and makeup done. I like that time to just relax because when you're in front of the camera, when you're in front of the lights, you are going to expend so much energy. And then, of course, get to the place that you're going quickly, add plenty of time for traffic. These are all things that I'm learning in life, mostly from James, sometimes from my family. Everybody likes to influence me because I am Italian. I have Italian heritage, and a clock was not in my DNA. It is something we are working towards. And so being on time, trying really hard. And I was actually early for this last photo shoot, and I'm so proud of myself. And then, of course, day of. So I really like to make sure, this is simple, this is silly, but literally critical, especially if you're working with others. First off, floss your teeth before you leave. And then again, have breath spray, because especially if you have coffee in the morning, the last thing you want is to be breathing coffee breath on everyone who's going to be right around your face and right around your space to take photos of you, do your hair and makeup. So that's one thing. And then I always like to make sure that I have all the different shoe options. So I have silvers, golds, whites, blacks, all nudes, clear. I have all shoe options for the day of. I also have all underwear solutions you could possibly think of, tape, glue, everything. And then I arrive early, get set up, get to meet everybody. And number one thing, communicate what you want. Communicate what you want with the photographer. I communicate all this ahead of time, but then you're reiterating it day of because everyone has a lot going on in their life. So reiterate to your photographer exactly what looks you want, how many you want, what you're looking for, what's the goal, what you need to accomplish in each shoot, each look. So, and then for hair and makeup, really tell them kindly, compassionately, transparently, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. I want soft, I want natural, I want glam. And then explain the styles, explain everything that's going on, show them pictures. If you have things you do and don't like about your makeup, like I do, explain those explicitly so that you can have everybody on your team on the same page as you, and it can be as successful as possible. And then when you are having the actual shoot, just a couple tips. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see. If you're listening to the podcast, you absorb as much as you can. And if you're ahead of time, start practicing poses. So start practicing open mouth, smiles, your looks that you have. Do you like yourself straight on? Do you like yourself at an angle? Do you tend to bring your shoulders up? Do you need to relax? So of course, practice these things ahead of time, but then as you're in the shoot, in terms of posing, you want to do micro movements. So let's say I'm in the photo shoot right now. So I'm standing, I'm sitting, and let's say I want to do, for the most part, you're going to better just a little with your body, just a little diagonal to the camera. You can shoot straight on. I shoot plenty straight on, but generally you'll find that if you do just a little bit to the side, you have like a really pretty angle to your body. And then let's say you want your face straight on. So if you're doing micro movements for your face, you might smile and then stay in the same spot and do like a smaller smile, or you might start with like your lips closed and then smile greater, and then do micro movements with your head to move your head and move it around. So when you are taking photos, expect there to be 100 to a couple hundred photos per look. Now, it depends on what type of photography and what your engagement is with your photographer and what their style is. They may be like a shoot it up perfect and take a couple shots, or they may be move it around and everything. But micro movements are what you want. And then play with your body angles. Think about angles. So everything is angles, and what can you do to change those angles to mix them up, to present your body in the best way. And then posture is everything. So you don't want your shoulders up, you want them back. You want your shoulders back, and that is going to be the difference between this and this, right? So it looks better. So I hope those tips have been helpful. And when you're going through the process of the photo shoot and you're going to get raw, unedited images back, and you need to select them. Sometimes you just get edited images back, but sometimes you have to get all the raw images back and select them. It depends on the photographer. Some of them will cut out the ones where you clearly don't look good, and some don't. And it's okay. It's okay if you don't look good in 95% of your photos. I think I don't look good in 95% of my photos, but I have the ones that like the camera clicked at just right angle and everything came together. My head was at the right angle. My body was at the right angle. Obviously, these are things that you get a little bit more sophisticated with over time, but I'm very particular about what I find to be a good photo and what I like in my photos. And so I'll show you, if you're on YouTube, what a few of my recent photos that I took, the raw, unedited images are. So these are a few of the unedited images from the photo shoot. And I think we had 1,200 images, and I really loved about a dozen of them. And that's not atypical. It's okay that you don't have like thousands of perfect photos. Don't worry. It's okay that it takes a while for you to find the photos that you really love. I think this one's like, woohoo! So good. So, this is having done my hair and makeup and having done my styling. It took a lot for me as a type A person to release all of the stress around that and have someone else do it. But it turned out beautifully. I had so much fun and it was an incredible experience. So I hope that this podcast episode and YouTube has been helpful for you. I hope that it's been going to be like the most incredible photos that you have for your upcoming photo shoot. I'm excited to get back the edited versions of my selections. I still have to make my selections, but I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about photo shoots, if you have any requests for future episodes, let me know. I would love to incorporate them, and be sure, of course, to subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube, to share it with your friends, and tag me on social media at Laura M. DiFrancesco, at Flourish Westchester, and any of the businesses and brands. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great day. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the We Grow Together podcast. I hope today's conversation inspired you, provided valuable insights, and brought you closer to your more authentic self. If you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to give a 5-star review and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Also, be sure to screenshot and share on social media whenever you can. Sharing your support of the podcast really helps us to grow and continue making episodes just like this. You can see all of the links in the show notes for more access to guides, all of our social media information, resources, how to connect with us. And I hope that you join us in the next episode where we'll be sharing more innovative ideas, stories, all with our philosophy that we grow together. I'll see you in the next episode.